Everyone, welcome back to another live episode of the Relevant Recruiter Show. Today, I've got a special guest, Benjamin Mena, joining me today. Uh, he is the host of the Elite Recruiter podcast, and he's putting on the Recruiter Growth Summit Part 2. If you've been around, he's done the Recruiter Growth Summit Part 1, the AI Summit for Recruiters back in August. Now we're going to do the Recruiter Growth Summit, finish year strong, kicking off next week. So what we're going to do on this podcast is really just kind of introduce the Growth Summit and what you guys can expect, talk about some of the things that Ben's fired up about, and topic speakers, and then feel free to chime in with any questions as we get this thing rolling. If you are joining us live, go ahead and share with us what industry you recruit in and where you're located as we get this thing up and running. Benjamin, thank you for hanging with me, man.
So industry, I am government contracting. I am based in the greater DC. Oh, that's for everybody too, right, guys?
Yep. There we go. So let's just dive into this whole thing right now as people are getting ready to rock and roll. What inspired you to do these events? I mean, I know this is number 3 for this year, but I'm just curious, like what inspired you to get going with hosting these events? I know it's a huge lift for you. So, you're running a successful recruiting business. This is, what's inspired you, man?
So if you want a good laugh, the idea of a summit came together during a lunchtime run. I was just like, you know what? And this is like before the one in March. I was like, what if I could pull some of the speakers that I've had and kind of to put them together in like one room digitally and make it so that like, it's one powerful week of talks to help recruiters grow. So I was like, let me do that. Ask a few people, put it together. I thought like 25 or 50 people would show up. I was like, you know what? If we hit 50 people, it'll be a success. And by the end of the week, it was like 650, and I didn't know which way it was up. Like totally wasn't ready for how hungry recruiters are to grow. And like Donnie, I know you know this. Like you've been helping recruiters, you talk with firms constantly, talk about the pain points, but I wasn't ready in understanding like how many recruiters were just excited about growth. So that's really where the first idea came from. The AI Summit was just like, hey, AI is like changing fast. So let me just kind of like pull some people together and see what that was. And that ended up turning into like 1,100 people, which was crazy.
Right.
And then this is the one that like I have been so excited about since the March Summit. Because for 2023 and 2024, for a lot of people, it's been an interesting year. Or interesting 2 years. Some places they're just absolutely crushing it. Some places it's a bit of a struggle. Like every industry is different. Every person's different. But here's the thing. I wanted to pull together some of the best people in the industry so that way when somebody is done with this week, they can draw a line in the sand saying, my year starts now. Q4 is everything. I'm putting everything I have into Q4. And I believe one solid effort for one quarter, even going into the holidays, can absolutely change a recruiter's life. So like this week is just to inspire, it's to teach, it's to motivate, it's to help you put yourself in the right mindset, digitally get around people. Because here's the thing, like Donnie, like we chat offline.
Yep.
One of the biggest things that they say when it comes to somebody's success is like the 5 people that you spend the most time with and the books that you read can literally guarantee where you're going to be in 5 years. In the digital world, that's a little different. You can digitally set yourself around 25 people, listen to the information, dig into Donnie's podcast nonstop, dig into other forms of information. You can digitally hang around these people. And this is creating a room where people can digitally hang around some of the best speakers, the best thought leaders that can help change your entire recruiting career for the rest of this year. So that's where this came from.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. I can tell you're fired up and inspired about it. So, like, who should be attending? Is it just agency owners? Is it recruiters? Is it business development? Anybody at firm? Like it?
I would say there's a little bit for everybody, except for internal corporate talent acquisition recruiters.
Okay.
I think that one was like the AI Summit was really more towards that. There are like some really good talks. Like if you like in the world that is changing for internal TA, like you should be around these kind of people. Like
Right.
you should be because it is changing fast and it's going to impact your career. So you need to be ready. Even if you want to go launch your own firm, you need to be here. But really, that this is for like frontline recruiters, solo agency recruiters. This is for if you're working at a recruiting agency. Like if you're working at a recruiting agency, you are an entrepreneur yourself. You
Yep.
have to think like an entrepreneur. You know, what's nice is you don't have to deal with a lot of the headaches that like a solo or a firm owner deals with. So you get to put on the entrepreneurial hat, take advantage of all these lessons and go implement without half the other stresses. And this is also for firm owners. Like if you're looking at like, the world is changing. It's your job to lead a team. What information can you pick up from some of these speakers that you can implement into your business and like 2x, or maybe even like, add an additional few $100,000 to your firm by the end of the quarter by implementing some of these things.
Yep. Now, how is the form, like for those that didn't attend the last ones, like how is the information delivered? Is it audio? Is it video? Is it?
It's going to be all video. We have 31 speakers set up Monday through Friday, and then we have a bonus day. And what it is, it's a combination of like pre-recorded stuff. So I've been pre-recording with some of the speakers and also live. And the live is going to be through Zoom webinar. So when you perfect example, Aaron Opolowski is going to be the kickoff keynote speaker on Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern. So what you do is you sign up. Registration is absolutely free. For the live sessions, it's like I'm trying to make sure information is out there so people have access to it. If you want to copy the VIPs, that does cost a little bit of money, and we'll talk about it in a minute, but it's going to be through Zoom webinar. So like right at 9 a.m., you hop in the Zoom webinar, like click on the link, go to the schedule, open it up, go in there. And then right at 9 a.m., I'll be kicking it off with Aaron and just giving a quick welcome. And it's going to be like, once that talk is done, you'll get a chance to go back and get some work done before the next talk. So it's going to be a lot of like, everything's going to be, all the live talks are going to be through Zoom webinar.
Right. All right. Perfect. I love I just had Aaron on my podcast, I think 2 weeks ago. So great kickoff. The guy's.
Oh dude. Yeah. He's awesome. I saw that. I was like, yeah. And I had his episode drop on Monday. So as kind of like a pregame for the week.
Love it. Love it. So let's dive into that. Like, what did you kind of come up with for topics? If we were to break them into categories, I know there's going to be some overlap. I know you're excited about every topic, but like, how did you kind of break it out? Like, what is it? Is it recruiting focus? Is it business development? Is it digital? I mean, what are we thinking here?
So like, I was originally trying to come to this as like a Mondays, like this theme, Tuesdays, this theme, but then I started working with all the amazing speakers and like what their schedule was. And like, honestly, Donnie, the speakers that I have, I trust them so much, and I trust them so much on like that they're going to have an impact to let them choose what they wanted to share. Like right. I was like, hey, Donnie, like what works for you? Okay. This day works for you. Cool. Donnie, I pretty much know probably what you're going to target and what you're going to share, but I trust you 100% with the community to leave an impact. So that's kind of like, I truly just kind of like gave the speakers what they want.
Right.
But really like the thought process is, we kind of have like a combination of focus on mindset, both the kickoff speaker and the keynote speaker, Brenner Surga, really going to be focused on mindset and what to attack. There's going to be speakers talking about like, LinkedIn tools and automation. If you are on this talk, listening to Donnie, make sure you show up live to Donnie's talk too. He's going to be sharing, let me just run through it real quick. The must of lead generation, the essential elements of success. There's going to be stuff like, building like, Keely is going to be talking about what you do from lead, like a lead, the beginning of a lead to like the death of it.
Right.
So there's all sorts of tactical conversations, mindset conversations, business development and sales conversations. It's pretty much like whatever you need for your recruiting career, there's going to be a talk or multiple talks for you.
Right. Now, I know that you're not biased in any way, shape, or form with this whole thing here, but whether you want to, what are some of the topics you're fired up about or speakers? And I know that all of them are, you've got to, I've seen the list. The whole lineup is stacked, but what kind of sticks out to you, or feel free to share all of them. Just
we'll
listen. Yeah.
Well, Donnie, I'm most excited about you.
Oh, well, of course. Yeah. I'll send you the check after this. Yeah.
We'll just get like a quick, Well, just like make sure you get registered. But yeah, let me just do a quick rundown. We got Aaron Opolski, like attacking Q4. Like if you don't know him, like hey, if you want a good laugh, Aaron was one of the first guests I had on my podcast. He was like, he spoke a vision of like, I'm going to have like I'm going to scale up to 7 different staffing companies. And like during our conversation, like a few weeks ago, he was like, yeah, we're currently at 7. I was like, wait, you literally said that. Yep. My mind was blown. Clark Wilcox is going to be talking about like automation and mastering LinkedIn. I don't know if you know Scott Love at all, but good friends with him. He's going to be talking about this like getting your fees where the fee that you get is over 6 figures.
Right.
Like go for the whales. And he's going to talk about how to do that. The staffing shark, the biggest bundle of energy out there in the recruiting world, is going to be talking about how you can become a micro influencer. And he talks about his results of being a micro influencer in the last 12 months, 38 new clients and placing 301 candidates.
That's amazing.
So like he's going to be a fire. And then I think you've had both of these people on your podcast, if not just one, but Sarah Ingley, Julia Arpog, going to be talking about how to both of these people recently launched the recruiting businesses. Julia is like 600K her first year. Sarah had about, I think it was like 1.5 or 1.6 million in the first like 15 or 16 months. Yep. Both of them are going to be talking about how they launched your business, and it's going to be a Q&A. Jumping over to Tuesday, Ben Browning over in the UK is going to be sharing his strategic revenue growth formula. Trisha Tampkin and Jason Thurbo are going to be talking about, there's some of the great trainers out there.
Yep.
Their talk is top secret. They're not even telling me until they go live.
Oh, that'll be fun.
All I could do is promote like top secret. Diane Prince is going to be talking about continuous cash flow for your business, sharing how you how to get off the revenue roller coaster. Right? I know she sold her company for like 28 million. Donnie, if you are here live today, do not miss Donnie's talk. He's going to be talking about the must of lead generation. Right after you is Pete Tomasco, who like spent a decade homeless on the streets, drug addiction, and recruiting completely changed his life, and got him off the streets. Was part owner of a firm, all sorts of stuff. Then Will McGee is going to be talking about 9 reasons why your team's BD content and sales strategies aren't working. And that's just day 2, guys.
Yep. Fully loaded.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be an absolute blast. Like it's like, I highly recommend picking up like VIP just so you can catch replays later, but it is going to be like, that's only 2 days of a 6-day conference.
Yeah. Well, and I put the link to register. It might only have gone onto YouTube, so I'll make sure I'll put it into the chat on LinkedIn. But if you want to go take a look at this, the speaker lineup, it's right there for you to be able to dig in and see the whole list, because there's 3 more days and probably another 20 people, maybe more that weren't mentioned yet. So what about like what do you hope that everybody walks away with, as they go to this event?
My biggest hope is I really believe that the room of speakers are capable of leaving such an impact that people are going to walk away, make the decision. They now have the knowledge, draw a line in the sand, and that way their Q4, even going into the holidays, is one of the best quarters that they've had over the last few years. And like, I know every single person's definition of success is going to be different.
Yep.
But I want people to bill more. I want people to spend more time with their family. I want more bills to get paid. I want more money put in savings accounts. I want more money invested into their business. I truly believe that, this is just, I know, Donnie, you see these conversations, like you hear these conversations with people that are just like, they get some of the information from your podcast, and it's a game changer.
Yeah.
But I think that this event is going to have a ripple effect in the recruiting market. And remember, as recruiters, we change people's lives day in and day out. We have such an impact out there in the community. And I really believe that people coming out of this conference, going into Q4, they're going to make some of the biggest impact that they've ever made.
Yep. I love that, dude. I love that I love the goals, the intention. And yeah, I mean, all it takes sometimes is one nugget to shift and move forward. And there's, 32 possible nuggets, I think, that people can take away from this thing here. So it's a very robust event. Now, what do you have in terms of if I sign up and I can't make it? Is there recordings? Like, what can people expect around that?
I'm trying to make the knowledge as easy to get as possible.
Right.
Because I remember back when I was in the process of trying to launch my own recruiting firm, working evenings outside of it being a contract recruiter, I have a dream that I'm going to start this business, and, money was tight. So, like if you could show up to the lives, it's free. But if you sign up for the VIP pre-event starting, it's $99. While the event is live, it goes up to $149 to sign up for the VIP. And what VIP means is you have access to the replays for life. As long as you want to go back and like watch the videos, watch the content, you'll have access to all that. But after the event is done, come on Tuesday or Monday at 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. or whatever, it goes up to $299 if you want a copy of the replay. So like it is I hate to say this, like I feel like all these speakers together is like a $10,000 masterclass.
I was just about to say it's the biggest no-brainer because you're getting a training module of about 32, 40 lessons. I don't know how many. So yeah, for $99, it's a steal. Yeah. All right. Cool. So that's the VIP opportunity for people. Now, what about like networking? Is there any networking opportunities that are going to be there? Or is it more just kind of an educational thing at this point in time?
This one's going to be more educational. I've really been trying to play around with like some things, and I'm actually going to do another one in the spring, kind of like at the end of Q1, trying to help like go back into, like a launch of Q2. I'm really trying to figure out a digital way to network, and I just haven't been able to master that. So like, this is going to be purely educational. Get a chance to chat with people in the comments. One of the things like I'll probably do is like, if you guys want to network with other recruiters, like drop your LinkedIn profile in there. So like if you're listening right now and I forget to say that, or you chime in like after I've said it, once you're into the talks, like drop your LinkedIn profile and just say like, hey, love to network with other recruiters that are interested in growing too. And trust me, you'll have people sending you friend requests. And think of these as like, these could potentially be your battle buddies.
Right.
One of the things that I think like really keeps people from being successful is accountability. And one of the things, like reasons why a lot of people pay for coaches, like don't laugh at this, Donnie. I think a lot of people like know the information and know what they have to do half the time.
Yeah.
But people hire a coach to help them be accountable to somebody outside of themselves. Because being accountable to yourself is hard as hell. But like behind the scenes, once you start talking to people like, oh, wait, you have a coach that's your accountability partner. You have your accountability partner. But think about this, like pop in the comments in the chat of like some of these live sessions. Like, hey, I would love to be an accountability or a running buddy with somebody that out there. Anybody want to join me? Let's run for Q4. Find your accountability partner, like chat with other people offline. And I think that's going to be some of the best ways when it comes to like networking with other very growth-minded recruiters. Yeah.
Well, I think you make a great point of like the information is excellent, but it is the accountability. It's like the implementation, right? So, what is one or two talks that you're going to dive into that you're going to go take action from what the speaker said, is probably one of the biggest ways that you can actually move that Q4 revenue, like you're saying, right? Consume the information, but then implement. And yeah, you hit the nail on the head with like, that's why most people are working with a coach, is the accountability, and the information it's everywhere now. Right. So it's kind of a challenge I think you hit the nail on the head with just that accountability piece. And I think that's a really great opportunity to even though it's informal, to be able to connect with peers, and even a better opportunity to get that accountability partner, like you said. Are there any additional resources? Go ahead.
I was going to say, here's also another thing. Like if, like you're looking for like a sales coach and you want to get a chance to see some of the way like Donnie's operating, and Donnie shares. And like, we'll just say like, if that event's your first intro to Donnie, like actually, you know what? Donnie's the kind of person that I need as a coach. Here's a cool thing. Like this is your introduction to Donnie.
Yeah. Well, you get to see people live and in action. And, I think that there's a lot of good coaches in any industry. There's a lot of good coaches in our industry. And a lot of that is like, well, what problem are you trying to solve first? Right. But then who do you align with, and what makes, who do you want to work with? I think that's where there's going to be plenty of opportunity for you. Like you said, almost try somebody on and see, who they are at a deeper level and stuff like that. Yeah. What about, are there any other additional, you mentioned the VIP with the recordings, any other additional resources with this? Or
I would say like, no, not with this. There are some of the things. So I would actually go into every speaker's profile, and like they're going to be updating this like going into the weekend and like into next week. But a lot of the speakers have like different tools and offers, and like shares that they have. So make sure to jump into like every speaker profile and kind of see like what kind of additional resources they have out there that you can also grab too.
Yep. And there is a couple of speaker opportunities where they have like some deals and offers at the end
Yeah.
too, right?
Yep.
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 Cool. Anything we didn't cover here, man, that you think you want to share with everybody about the event?
I mean, I think one of the things. So if you click, I don't know if like the link, Donnie will drop it on LinkedIn.
Yep.
And when you go to register, I just saw a question pop up. When you go to
Yep.
register, you can pick the free live session, or you can pick the VIP route. So
let me go ahead and drop that right there. I just commented on that.
Okay, cool.
That's the link. So yeah, Stuart, let us know if you have any challenges navigating around that for the event. Any prep that people should do, or just show up and put a smile on your face?
I think the prep that people should do this week and going into this event is figuring out what you might need out of it. Like sit down, spend some time thinking about like this year or even this quarter, like where are the places that you've kind of like run into some challenges? What are some of the things that you wish that you could change? What are some of the things that you've thought about doing, but you just never did it yet?
Love that.
And where like, and think about like, what do you want to learn? Because like one of the things about like information is you always have to, I know this sounds like woo and weird, but you have to be ready.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be ready to like walk in and be like, these are the three things that I'm really looking at getting out of it. And if you're looking at getting something out of it, when that speaker shares exactly what you were looking for, it'll like chime in and just be like, oh, bing, that was the gym that I needed to make this change. Or like, why didn't I even think about this? Like I've been recruiting sometimes it's like beating your head against the wall.
Right.
Wait, crap. I didn't realize the door was 2 feet away.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
well,
I would say think about what you want to get from the speakers is going to be the big one. And then just like be ready to receive. And once the talk is done and like it's resonated with you, don't be afraid to reach out to the speaker too. Like, do not be afraid to be like, hey, Donnie, I loved your talk. I have a question about X, Y, and Z.
Perfect. So folks, make sure they've got the link in the comments. Click to sign up. It's free. The VIP day is like buying a training course for $99 with some of the best in the business. So there's a tremendous amount of value to be able to access that. And I think you make a really good point, and that's what I think is even more valuable about the VIP is that, well, I might only want to, my biggest kind of pain point in my business right now might be business development. And so that's what I'm going to focus on. Well, if I solve that, or if I get that going in the right direction at the beginning of Q4, hey, I might be looking at some AI sourcing techniques that I could utilize at the end of Q4 to support the business development growth that I've had, right? And now I've got access to that stuff. So make sure you sign up for that VIP. Either way, just come join the event. Benjamin's doing some amazing things in our community with the Elite Recruiter podcast and then putting on these events. And a lot of time, a lot of commitment to effort. I know just in my experience going back with him and what we've had to coordinate just one-on-one and him having to do that with all these speakers here. So it is a wonderful resource and I would encourage everybody to be there. Actually, I'm a little bit nervous about my presentation now, Benjamin. I mean, I've got to bring it, baby. I'm just kidding. I'm fired up. Yeah. I'm fired up. So click the link below. Let us know. We'll be there. Benjamin, any last thoughts?
Get done with it. Go show up to the talks that you want to show up to. After you're done, maybe that weekend, spend an hour, set aside an hour for yourself. And I understand it's like hard if you have kids. So maybe like make it 30 minutes. Spend some time journaling about what the vision that you have for the next quarter is going to be. Because here's the thing. You're going to be able to learn it. actionable advice. But unless you write down what your goal is going to be and build out that vision, you will not achieve the results that you want coming out of Q4. Because once you write the goal down, or once you have the goal, you have the vision, your mind is going to start working towards the process of how to get there.
I love it. I love it. Be intentional about what your takeaway is. Just registered, but missed the VIP offer. Is there another link for it? Stuart asked.
There will I'm going to send out for Stuart, I'm going to send out an additional email tonight, kind of highlighting some of the speakers. If you scroll down to the very bottom of the email, it's actually going to say, like, if you want to upgrade to VIP, just click on this link.
Awesome. Courtney Harmon, she'll be speaking. Thank you for being here. Pamela C, thank you for being here. Matt Sylvie, what's up, brother? Hope you're doing well. Stuart, thank you for coming. Matthew
Courtney
Hayden.
speaking, and Crelate's also a sponsor.
Yep. Awesome. So we'll get to hear from Crelate, sponsorship from Crelate. I love Crelate, love Courtney. They're awesome. So yeah, I'm fired up for the event. If you're not registered yet, make sure you take advantage of this awesome stuff. Benjamin, thank you for coming on, giving us the preview. And feel free, if you have any other questions, come in this little chat box here and ask them up, and we'll answer them offline when this little live event's over. So see everybody next week.